we are going to talk about a movie that I revisited and was disheartened and simply blown away upon knowing its financial performance. The year is 2001, and this is the time where the three Khans in the Hindi film industry are at the top of their game. Superstars that are revered and even worshipped. Aamir Khan had impressed audiences and critics with his noteworthy performances in 1998 with Gulam and 1999 with Sarfarosh. Little did we know that the man in the same year this movie released, which we're going to talk about, would come out with an Oscar-nominated film Lagaan, putting him on an international pedestal. In 1999, Salman Khan featured in the Sanjay Leela Bhansali romantic drama Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam. And then we had Shah Rukh Khan. Possibly the most revered and successful stage of his career, had just wrapped up with Josh and the blockbuster Mohabbatein. This is when Shah Rukh Khan took the big risk of featuring in a period film based on Emperor Ashok, which would be directed by well-known Malayalam and Tamil film cinematographer Santosh Sivan, and would be his biggest project. Revisiting this epic sent chills down my spine. And here's me telling you why you need to watch it again, and why I believe if this movie was re-released with some minor changes, it would have a different reception altogether. The video is going to be filled with spoilers, as I really have to tell you everything to project its magic. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with the underappreciated Bollywood gem that will still give you goosebumps. The vision and protagonist. See, whenever a period film is under production, the creators always take a risk of the massive investment that is taking place and whether or not the returns will even come close to the desired targets. Everyone cannot have a track record with period films like Sanjay Leela Bhansali, and history has showed us that movies based on historical figures tend to have disastrous results. This is clear through several movies like Jhansi Ki Rani and Razia Sultan, movies that had a lot of potential but failed miserably financially. Of course, you have examples like Mughal-e-Azam, but there are very few films that attain such a legendary status. So switch to 2001, a time when Bollywood is primarily packed with David Dhawan comedies or epic romances, and Shah Rukh Khan takes the risk of portraying an Indian emperor of the Maurya dynasty, an individual that almost ruled the entire Indian subcontinent, a ruler that had the most complex emotional and psychological transition as a ruler, and more so, a human. Taking the director's chair, a man who has very little experience in directing a Hindi film, yet the producers, one of which was Shah Rukh Khan by the way, put the utmost faith on the credible technician. All these aspects made me respect Khan tenfold. An individual who did not fear the financial risk or viability of the project, took the risk of offending several groups despite showcasing what happened in history with some creative freedom, but trusted the vision and the monumental task at hand. For the creators to foreshadow this project to have the desired impact is commendable, as they provided something the Indian audience was not used to at that time, to focus on the familial politics, the concept of war and its consequences, and the most impactful, the motivation that drives anyone in life. This leads to my points about the film. The politics. One of the most riveting and intriguing aspects of the movie is the familial and administrative politics that existed within the Mauryan Empire and in general around the Indian subcontinent. There are many historical accounts pertaining to Ashoka's family tree, where it is a known fact that the emperor was the grandson of Indian ruler Chandragupta Maurya and the son of Bindusara. The deviations take place with respect to the mother's family lineage, while some accounts say that the king had a Greek lineage due to the association of Chandragupta Maurya with the Greek princess Yavana. Other historical accounts just state that the mother was the daughter of a Brahmin from the city of Champa. Ashoka existed in the empire more or less as an outcast, despite leading the army in several conquests, while his elder half-brothers just waited for the demise of their father to sit on the Magad throne, while constantly being vigilant of Ashoka's rise in power. The back and forth with his elder brother Sushim, who is aware of his incompetence as his leader, yet does not think twice of annihilating any kind of resistance in his journey to the throne, constantly wishing for nothing but death for his half-brother, consistently sending him for conquest at a disadvantage or hiring assassins to finish him. Yet Ashok always prevailed, knowing very well the intentions of his half-brothers. These moments of belief in one's destiny, the blind aspiration for the throne, and the lack of empathy for one's own family in the quest for absolute power are one of the biggest highlights of this epic. The performances. Each character, irrespective of the length of their role, put forth some extremely impactful performances. Of course, the movie suffers because of elements that existed in most movies in the early 2000s, especially unnecessary comical characters, but the way the movie develops the world to transition to its final hour, and which truly sucks you in, is a technique to be witnessed. Kareena Kapoor as Kaurvaki, just beyond being breathtakingly beautiful, captured the helplessness of self-identity and longing for companionship beautifully. The chemistry she shares with Shah Rukh Khan as they look at each other, barely knowing anything about one another, yet can't help but get drawn to each other's energy, was the thread that kept this movie connected. Despite the multiple elements it had to focus on, these two principal characters, one's perception of loss and another one's longing for a reunion, is what held the beautiful story together. Rahul Dev as Senapati Bhim does not skip a beat as a loyal, brave and always skeptical general. The highlight performer, however, after Shah Rukh Khan, whose performance I'll discuss later, was that of Ajit Kumar as Sushim. A man who has no sense of care or empathy for his half-brother's bravery or conquests. A man who has no time for accommodating for one's needs. An individual who projects his own insecurities and lack of self-worth on others, and in no way hears facts that derail him on his journey to the throne. Ajit Kumar was conniving, despicable and simply brilliant. It's rather sad that this was his only Hindi feature, as the actor just showcased to us his absolute skill as a performer. The moments and cinematography. What drives this movie to be beautiful, powerful and forever etched in my memory is because of its cinematography and moments. Santosh Sivan is known for his cinematography in films like Roja, Indra, Iruvar and Dil Se. So you know already that the movie is going to be visually stunning. But beyond the movie and its visually stunning and horrific shots of war, musical sequences, moments of passion between the protagonists, what stands out in the film is the creative direction taken for its screenplay. What should a character do upon knowing something, made for some of the most thought-provoking shots? Upon understanding his mother will not break her vow of silence until he leaves Magad, he cuts his hair. A feature of kings extremely apparent during the medieval period. Upon hearing the news that the love of his life has been assassinated, he is shocked beyond belief. Walking towards the cremation, he is in absolute horror, and with a loss of purpose, takes the ashes and covers his face, looking at the distance with nothing to fight for. In active combat, as he gets betrayed by his own people, there is not a fire within him to fight back, almost surrendering to death itself. The transition of being, at one point, without a purpose. He witnesses his mother's murder in his own kingdom and sees nothing but death, and to annihilate everyone in close sight. He becomes so blind in his madness that he is not concerned about the ramifications of killing innocent people, just the pursuit of absolute power. Which brings me to finally, the conclusion. The art of storytelling. The movie is the portrayal of Ashok's journey and how in the sequence of events that take place in the Emperor's life leads to the most profound character arc for a protagonist in a film. It also showcases to us human nature and what drives them to keep going. Ashok at one point could only think of being the king of the Mauryan Empire. He had no other aspirations and goals in life. Just lead armies in several wars and reign over maximum territory to be hailed the most influential king in India. The moment he is told to leave everything, he stumbles upon feeling boundless love for someone, which makes him believe beyond just absolute power. His existence becomes more than just conquests, but more about living with and for someone. When that is lost and the human that gave birth to him is snatched away from him, he becomes a man of no moral compass or empathy, a man who only seeks and wishes for total domination in the world. Upon winning a war, when his brother comes to tell him that he has become a father, he is glad and is rather perplexed at his disappointed expression. He tells his younger brother, "Yudh mein ya to mrityu hoti hai या जीत, और मैं जीता हूं." To which he replies, "हाँ, आप जीते हो, विधवाओं के आंसू, अनाथों के चीखे और जलती हुई लाशें, सब जीत गए हैं आप जीत गए." This only hits Ashok when he witnesses the carnage he has caused in the Kaling war, as widows are crying next to the corpses of their loved ones, as several heads and limbs are scattered all over, all this for land and power. As he sees a grieving soldier wanting water, upon offering it, he gets a look of absolute disgust and rejection. Shah Rukh is bone-chillingly brilliant in this movie. As he walks through the aftermath in the battlefield, this shot still gives me goosebumps, as I remember witnessing it in the theatre. The fact that this movie did not get its due credit still baffles me, and I wish you revisit it on Netflix. And that was the video, guys. Write it down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.